Hello and welcome back to my The Greatest Disney Playthrough Chronicles something. We're on part 24, I think. We just got Mr. Sholmes that like mocked us for not knowing what a bomb is. And yeah, hello YouTube. Comment, subscribe, oh, you know, the interaction stuff, you know, to help the video out and yeah, etc. So yeah, let's go. So, we just entered the room and... Oh yeah, we're about to do a grid deduction. Right, yeah, right, okay, yeah. Immediately starting with the good stuff. Okay. Once again, Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright. Okay, I literally stopped it, like, the game at the literal, like, last dialogue box. Okay. Flipped furniture. Okay, he's gonna see the gravity was inverted. It's been to see this room is... Okay, she's like so hyped. This is the first time in 6 months she saw like a good deduction. It's been to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. It was as if every atom in the room had, until recently, been happily dispositioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor. Every atom in the room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that? Indeed, the key here. Wait, safe, what the fuck is that? It's gravity. Wait, there was something written on there, like the safe, like, code. Bro, okay, this is so cool. Like, he did like a fucking Jujutsu Kaisen some bullshit. But it appears that the technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the earth. Like, look at them. Just aura form. For the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality. Goodness! The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Mrs. Sato. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device almost identical to one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact. Dude, what the heck? This is so fucking cool. I don't know. Like, I'm not used to seeing like shit like floating and like. Okay, but then why does it have a clock on it? A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. It was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need to look further to explain the state in which we now find this room. I think the truth is that the room was not like pulled by anti-gravity, but the room, because he's a crazy ass engineer, right? The guy actually like had the room was like oh shit, the room was like how do you say this? Like the room was like on upside down. It's the entire room itself, and then it like switched back to like what it was, and therefore that's why everything fell down, and that's why there's footsteps on the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Probably something like that. The direction which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Jabba, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Okay. It came to me in a dream. Because gravity was reversed. Okay. Topic number 2. Missing engineer. Now let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer's friend's aim? Yeah, indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his action is above our heads. Yeah. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up here down the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. What? Of course, Trevor's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way in this room, excepting the skylight, that is. Ah. Does that really make sense, though? Wow! Okay, this is so fucking cool! They really went off with the fucking special effects this time, bro. By inverting the gravity in here, Jabber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. The ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. The gravity reversal was sudden. Wouldn't Mr. Dribble have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently? Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the sky was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. True. Oh, the rope! To reach the intended destination was what better tool than this rope? Okay. By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Does that really make sense though? Which explains how Jabba was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. I mean, I would honestly, but it's probably not what happened. Something still grand, but not as spectacular or reality-defying. Thus concludes the Herlock Sholmes grid deduction. Topsy-turvy puzzle. Of this topsy-turvy, never mind. I cannot read for shit. Go. She like totally like ignored what happened. It's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there's just one thing that troubles me. As usual, I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean? I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge of the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. Right, fair enough. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. True, however improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Mrs. Seto lent me once.
Objection!
Actually, there is one more thing, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, the spell's broken at last. The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall. But if Mr. Drebo had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall? Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find. The ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery you face in this room, how now skillfully unraveled. That argument is as circular as the coils of rope, yeah. I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. I must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. Yeah. If you're ready, let us resume. Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Commence, yeah. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Okay. So. Spring to see, yeah. The bed, table, and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. It says if I read them, yeah. Before falling straight down onto the floor. Every item on the floor was in the ceiling. Yeah, indeed. The key here. This is still so fucking cool. It's gravity. With a pure technology, yeah. The key automare. Okay. But the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality. Goodness! Wait, let me show you. The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I don't think so. I think it's literally just hidden right behind here. I think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation. But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once. That's unusually merciless of you, Mrs. Seto. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he? By refusing to part with his dream of anti-gravity devices. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining the topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Yeah, there's an upright vase here. Well. Wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure. Ah, look at that! I know, that slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say? To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me. Yeah, it's pretty clear. I literally said it's like right here, and it actually was right there. Boom. Couldn't have been, because it would have broken. But also my theory of like the whole room like flipping over, that is also wrong. The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the power of gravity playing this whole business. Which is none. Upon my words, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes, just me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down. This unassuming, slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me. The gravity in this room was never inverted at all! Actually pissed. My deepest my deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes. Okay, but the show must go on. So, let us continue with our deductions. Yeah, now that we know the contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. I know why, because they were trying to look for the codes of the safe, because they knew it was under a piece of furniture, but they didn't know which one, so they flipped over every single one. Which, you know, until they found the code under that one table, right? Which is literally the only reason why everything's toppled over. But yeah, and the code to the safe, basically. And when they got, you know, the code to the safe, they went inside, they got what they needed inside the safe, and then they fucking bailed. Through the window up there, I think. Or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe they hid in the safe itself, because it was an actual escape route. Let's see. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally, there is an explanation. Which is the one I just gave, perhaps? Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. Nope. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was, it must have had a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though. Well, let's look around to see. Yeah. Which is right here. There we go. Safe number, safe combination.
Take that!
There we go. Hey! I knew it. Yeah. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, didn't you not? Yes, last year, when I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it for people and are forgetful souls at heart, and always make a written note of important information. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think. And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in, so I had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it, for people are forgetful souls at heart, and always forget where they've noted things down. Not if you always note things in the same place. Fair enough. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine had slipped the ticket into. Okay. Wait, so I had to turn my room upside down. Okay, thank you, Mr. I believe I proved my point now. Yeah. Literally, yeah, I called it, bro. Okay, which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. Remember that he'd written it on the other side of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yep. Yes, Mr. Jabba returned all the furniture in here, in a desperate hurry, to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. To find the safe combination. Okay, solved. Right, missing engineer. Now let's consider the next conundrum. What was an engineer friend's aim? To leave. Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his action is above our heads. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling? Question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. Okay. So, the reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Or maybe not. Well, if I change in the direction of gravity can explain it, then how did those footprints get there? It's probably just a trick. Or maybe not, I don't know. Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve. I can't think of any other ways to explain that at all. Oh, the life was so much simpler those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed. It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place. But I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail. Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. Oh, what? There's a shoe. Well.
Take that!
What? I don't get why they would be at. But, well, let's see then. Boom. Hey. The reason why there are footprints in the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. But on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the scarlet at all, but the balloon. What? But for what purpose? A green balloon! Oh! Okay, true, I didn't notice that. Yeah, a green balloon. He was just reenacting this scene. Huh. Okay. A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data. Ah! It was a piece of a green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene. And inside the green balloon that Master Gotts claimed he saw above the stage when the incident occurred. Yeah. Was the second birdcage the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception? You mean to say... If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there is a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach, and so he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Just like just fucking through the chancla. Just like missed so many times. Okay. Most probably Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by sealing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights. Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there were some way we could see inside. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, true. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope. Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground. Which is much easier said than done, I feel. It could take us a very long time as well. True, perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? Oh shit, that's the first time it happened. A crossbow, perhaps? No, a screwdriver. What? A piece of broken glass. No. Camera, no. Was there anything on the... Oh shit, I didn't actually expect it. There's a little metal plaque here. For stirring burgeoning talent, for the future of the scientific discovery. It seems rather ironic, doesn't it? But clearly Mr. Drebber really was a very talented scientist. Yeah, Is there anything hidden in this? No, okay. Maybe the actual crossbow then. Or maybe the screwdriver. But no, that doesn't make any sense though. What better tool than this rope? The destination, what better tool than this rope? I'm having a hard time. Maybe the crossbow?
Take that!
Oh shit, it is! Alright. Okay. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? That was found at the scene, in fact. in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. Okay. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? Could he or could he not retrieve it, though? Oh, it's the head of the... What the... It's the head of the waxwork! Yeah. Indeed it is. Waxwork head inside a metal mask. Must get it shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside, that means... Yeah, it's the head of the professor. Just a moment, this is the head of a waxwork model? Does that mean... Oh goodness! Yeah. I see you've joined the dots, Mr. Soto. Excellent. Of course. A headless waxwork model. Okay. Because of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you'd largely solved, it was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. And then he's gonna get paid! But I believe Madame Tuspel's will now have to settle her sizable account with me. Yeah. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yes, but why is it here? This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspel's and returning it sans tête earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber. I knew it! This is incredible. Professor Hairbrain's case and the waxwork abduction are... They're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. Who would have thought? Okay. Well, it appears a logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure. Whoa! There's a switch up in the theme. It's like Allegro of the theme, or like Presto. But the architect? You mean Mr. Drebber? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylight. Obviously, the man must still be here in the room. Yeah, I know! He's in the safe! And his location should be abundantly clear. They simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction. Look at the smirk. Enoch Drebber is right here, somewhere in this room. So, Mr. Naruto, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the... the large safe. Probably. Or maybe the wardrobe, like, as a callback, you know, to us. But I think it's cooler if it's the safe.
Take that!
Exactly! I don't know if I actually predicted that earlier, but if I did... Bro, before we can access to this back room, we heard noises from in here. Yeah. Oh yeah, the sound of like a heavy door. Yeah. Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. Was in fact searching for the combination to his safe. And pressed for time, he made no attempt to right the furniture, and he overturned the process. From which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is at this very moment inside the safe. Ah, this is so cool. This concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Bro, this is like the best, possibly the best, like great deduction we've made. Deduction complete. Elementary. Like the cool special effects, like the new theme to like, you know, more. Oh my god. So and like literally like going back, like I don't know. Like we've gone full circle from the first like half of the second case of the game where we were the ones hidden in like a war, like in a similar situation. I don't know. So Mr. Naruto, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? Opening the safe, you mean? Maybe he's gonna be dead though. What else? Let's see. The combination was 1432582. I knew that. All right, then here goes. Oh shit, he's actually here. You found me. Well. Is he actually or is he just very good at dancing? He is very good at dancing, okay. Hey, okay. Bro, I like his style. I don't know, he's cool. He's very cool. None of you are like astonished by his like insane moves, bro. Like you're just like gonna not say anything about this. Like he literally just did like a Jabberwocky's like type of like level moves, and you just like ignore him. Okay, sure. Right then, sir. What did I get back to? Right then, sir. Mr. Undergrubber, I presume. Correct. You'd better start talking. You tricked Professor Harebrained with that bogus machine you built. And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tussbells as well. I think he's super cool. I don't know why. Otherwise, I would be delighted to answer your many questions. No. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate? Your parcel? The bomb. I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a post-permanent position. Ah! I see. Then silence. You're all gearing up to die with me, then? No! Wait. Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare! It was too close for comfort. Okay, that was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already. Are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed? Mr. Sholmes' actions can be completely life-altering, can't they? Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance of an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say. Anti-gravity devices don't exist! Phew, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Okay. I don't know. I feel like they could have given his introduction like his dance was cool, but like I feel like they could have given it like more grandeur. I don't know, but he's cool. I like this guy. I don't know. I like his style, his flow. I didn't expect him to be like so like, you know. Okay. Converse. What happened here? What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me up down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a thorough going over. Don't you worry, Drubber. What fails to click for me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling? Ah, that would have been me. Was he doing his waxwork pose? No! For some reason, I was gonna find fatal today. Yeah, it's your fault. No words, just tight squeezed chips. Clearly I must have a screw loose though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. I also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So I then set about searching for a combination code to open the safe. Burning and incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. After that, you hid yourself inside the safe, having first set this parcel ticking. Well, I had intentions of being nailed by the police. Okay. He's like oddly calm and collected for someone like, you know, like very screwed. Literally and figuratively. Got the death wish, have you? Hiding in beside that ticking time bomb. So why do you suppose I choose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. Then I might explode wouldn't leave a scratch on it. So in fact, the safe. Wait. Okay. So in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely. But once you'd climbed inside, wouldn't you have been able to get out again? Get out again? I invite you to look more closely. Yeah, the safe is fitted with a I almost said manhandle. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Ah, so it is. I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting an invited guest to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up? No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. I calculated the time required for a retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But you seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? Just like... You think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in there recently? Professor Hairbrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at a good exhibition. And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Glad. Okay, I should give him an actual voice because I'm doing the robot thing, robotic like rhythm, but I feel like he's clad in a mask with that lock so no, clad in a mask so strong. Yeah, clad in a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all, that's enough. Ooh. What's she doing here? What voice did I give her? Fuck, it was complicated voice to do. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Yes, well...
Scythe again, so the forensic investigation team are here. Wait, is she actually working with him? I feel like she is, in the hypothesis of the 500 scalpels used to, like, being melted down for materials. Is actually true, then. She is like a collaborator in the crimes. Wait. You know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer to access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once. My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe? Ooh. Hello, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe? Yeah. If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite instigated. It's truly nothing more than a shell. You... Get out! Of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Narhado? Yes? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes! Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands, yeah. I said get out! Now, all of you! Your presence here is... I forgot how... Your presence here is not required either, Gregson.
Understood. I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. Was the time bomb set in here? Did it still got disarmed?
Inspector. Yeah, bitch! Thank you for putting respect on our name, Gregson. You're a real homie, you're a real G, bro.
Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Jabba?
So, sorry, didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, oh, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one. Eh, what are you... That one? Yeah, I mean... Oh shit, wait. Oh no! Oh shit! Okay, this guy is insane. He's like an actual fucking terrorist. Holy shit. Whoa, I didn't expect that. It's like the first time we get some shit like this. Holy shit. Like, this is like a Joker level like timing, bro. What the hell? This guy is fucking insane. Oh, that's cool. I don't know. Like, okay. It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage of the Great Exhibition. Professor Hairbrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. To be continued. That's fucking... Wow. That was like, okay. I don't know, like... Dude, what the fuck? Yeah. This is like a new, next level for like Ace Attorney shit. Like, I would like, generally speaking, oh, it's like a guy died, how he killed because his lover like cheated on him or some bullshit like that. Bro, this guy is a terrorist. He's like straight up like a fucking like a mastermind terrorist. Holy fuck. Okay, the Old Bailey defenders chamber. Good morning to you, Mr. Naruto. Good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings? I hope so. I should be. Good morning, my dear fellows. Oh, he's here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're here. Why, naturally. A true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle, at all times. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll see you later then. Okay. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today. Yes, do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again. Yes, I will. I realized it was a mistake, but I... My dear fellows, I must interject. Yeah, you just fucking like shut up, you know. Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes. What's the matter? Surely you've overlooked some praise, have you not? To be cast in my direction, huh? Sorry, I don't follow. As I spell it out, the great Sherlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamations, arose at some ungodly hour to be here now, first thing in the morning. A miracle, you must agree. Well, if I must agree then. As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gamut of tactics. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched in me and kicked me from the bed. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face, and at last I was bestirred. Oh my, Iris has been busy. Iris hasn't have it in her to go that far, she's too nice. I sense the spirit of a failed scientist, one who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory. Sorry to cut in. Yeah, okay. Oh, Inspector Gregson. Good morning. Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this delightfully early hour?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grammar expression, eh?
Dear me, you're going to take that insult lying down, Professor.
What?
What? I don't know! Poor Professor.
Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for.
What paperwork? Ah, I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful.
You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. Yeah, it's the professor's autopsy report.
That mass murderers? Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy? My only question was he based or not? You know? Was he right in his doings? Or was he just like a hater?
Okay. Was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago. It was all done under wraps. And he was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here.
Okay, the killer's autopsy report had been entered in the court record. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Inspector. Hey, thank you, man. Yes, much obliged, Gregson. He's such a cool guy, actually. I want to give him a hug.
A slowly lot at the yard, just doing what we can, in the shadow of the great detective Sholmes, of course.
We need to tell Iris to give him more praise, bro. Well then, Mr. Professor Hairbrain, this is it. Today we're going to lay all this to rest at last. I wish you the best of luck, Professor. I suppose he'll be in there today, will he? Jabba. Yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness. I'm still amazed that you managed to find him in just one day. I really owe you both so much.
Counsel and the defendant. The trials are to resume.
Didn't you just like die in that attack, bro?
The trials are to resume. Can they make your way in the courtroom at once?
Okay. This is it then, the final chapter. Why? My heart's racing again. I've not felt this before actually. A strange foreboding. As if something is going to happen in this trial that I'm not ready for. Yeah, you're gonna see Kazuma. But I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters. Finding the truth. You're gonna see your fucking dead friend's face after like what, a year of thinking he was dead? Like, yeah. It's probably gonna look like, you know?
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the public hearing of Albert Harebrain here present, who stands accused of murder. Are the counsel for the prosecution and defense ready to proceed?
Prosecution is ready, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. As promised, Lord Van Zieksen has his apprentice with him. He's apprenticed with memory loss.
No. If I may, Lord Van Zieks.
Yes, my lord.
There appears to be someone standing at your side.
Ah, yes, my apprentice and assistant. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. It said they're rebelling, yeah. Whoa! Oh, that was fucking sick, bro! He got like, he did a combo move, bro! They did a combo move! And he's like drawing, oh, the fucking aura, bro! Okay, bro, okay, bro, okay, bro. Okay. His aura forming was enough. He needed another, like, even more, like, on top of it. Okay, dude. Oh, that was sick. And he obviously has like the blade proficiency because he used to be a katana wielder, but he's like carrying a, like an English type sword. Anyway, therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial. The smooth running of liquid refreshment by the look of it. The way he holds himself, the way he moves, it couldn't be anyone else. But he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do to him. He has amnesia, therefore he's not that person anymore. You need to forget about it, Susato. Okay, no, it's a joke. I know, but oh, this is so very hard. Please bring the trope of like, oh my god, I remember everything now. Like, you know, please. Otherwise, it'd be too cruel. For like the story, like I don't know. Surely this is gonna be a happy ending, you know.
It would appear the prosecution had done a fine job in responding to the demands of the court made yesterday. I presume you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on the day in question.
Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as a witness shortly.
Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed?
Of course, my lord. I'm sure we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty.
I do despise deception and deceit. I find it so very wearing.
To take a man's life with a conjuring trick, it is against the magician's code, not to mention the law.
Any vague scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me.
We have to listen to what's said on both sides' defense, and settle at one. That's it, isn't it?
Wasn't like this in my day. Wasn't like this at all.
Okay.
If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zieks.
Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. Oh. Yesterday at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of primary importance in this case, the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed on the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion effected by an unknown person or persons. It was... What?
An explosion? This is an outrage!
Indeed.
Yes, I heard... Whoa. Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office this evening. I read that the machine was blasted to smithers, and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames.
I have here a photographic print of the scene, taken in the wake of the explosion. Yeah, there's a trapdoor. It shows out the dull remains of the machine.
Yes, a terrible business.
Yeah, but it proves our trapdoor idea. He did it to destroy the evidence, didn't he? That enough Trevor.
The court will take this print as evidence, counsel.
Yeah, thank you. Late yesterday afternoon, the protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this will become a very different trial. Yeah. What are you pointing at me though? What, you didn't do nothing, bro? As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the Kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity.
Indeed, a most unfortunate state of affairs,
But I think this picture literally reveals everything we need to know though. Look at it.
Look at it!
It has a big gaping hole in the middle, like with like a trapdoor mechanism with like hinges. Like, bro, it's kind of obvious. We don't need anything else. Or maybe they will... Is there anything else of interest? No, there isn't. Yeah, it's clearly the only thing we need for this. And also, I didn't read the killer. Condemned prisoner, redacted for confidentiality, pseudonym, the professor. Death by hanging, confirmed at midnight, 17th of June. Courtney Stevens. Okay. Yeah, let's look at this though. Nothing of interest here. Can we open it? Oh, there's a lock. This lock does look very strong, doesn't it? There's definitely no way you could remove the mask yourself if it was put on you. What a terrible way to treat someone, even a convicted criminal. No. He's a serial killer. He doesn't deserve it. Like, I know, it's starting to make me livid, actually. Mr. Naruto, please. I mean, just think about it. Imagine if you had an itch on your cheek all of a sudden. You'd be utterly helpless. Well, yes, that's true. But I'm not sure that warrants quite so much anger. Oh, right. Sorry. It reminds me of the like helmet that Sanji in One Piece had to wear as a kid and shit. And maybe it's a spoiler, maybe not, but... I don't know, it just reminds me of that. Okay. Did we inspect this? We have not. Yeah, we did the density, which is like probably the crystal. This piece of glass is almost as thick as it's wide. It's another thing. Yeah. What? Wait. If you were to complain to Tomian, only Mr. Sholmes would be as thick. Okay, bro. That's an unwarranted roast. There's really no need for such comparison with Naruto, as you well know. Anyway, it can only be from the Crystal Tower, surely. Yes, I think so too. Yeah. Okay. Camera, we already inspected this. Okay, we inspected everything, so we have everything ready.
Indeed, a most unfortunate state of affairs.
However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was a result of the actions of the accused. Of that, we can be certain. But it was the accused himself who was operating the machine and who ultimately caused its loss of control. Objection! As Lord Van Zieks rightly says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Aspen died as a result of the accident caused by his machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters.
Names, counsel, if you please.
The engineer, Mr. Anak Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Aspen. So what exactly were those two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant. Yes, sir. Yes, bro.
Thank you, counsel. The positions of the prosecution and defense have been clearly stated. Lord Van Zieks, summon your first witness, please.
We're not gonna talk about the fact that we literally found Drebber and the fact that, I don't know, like he literally told us that he like did a terrorist attack.
At once, my lord.
The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Anak Drebber, to the stand. It's hard to like do his like shouting voice. Yeah, okay, he's here. So we may go to the nitty-gritty of it instead. Also, I just noticed his like suit has like minus and plus on it, like you know, like electric like current schematics. You know, when you do like when you do a battery, like the symbol is like minus plus, and then you do the entire current like with like wires and shit. I mean lines and shit. I mean, anyway, state your name and occupation for the courts. Name and occupation. Hot to pin down, I would say. Wait, is that a black monocle? Yes. Why do I feel as though I've seen it somewhere before?
Oh, you too?
Yeah. Okay.
Your file indicates that you are currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? It was extraordinary sounding business.
But that has no bearing on this trial, I sure. Wait, let me find. I'm struggling so much with him and his voice. He's like.
That has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Leave it from your mind.
You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago? It used super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration.
Yes, you could say that. I am aware of it.
It was a terrible accident, wasn't there? It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Or so our investigation indicates. Can you confirm your involvement?
Yes, I constructed it. In precise accordance with the blueprints, that's all.
That's all. Okay. Then the court would be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure. I feel like his breakdown is gonna be him like going haywire, like you know, he's like cogs and like, you know, screws just going loose, like he's gonna spin like maybe do a 360 with his head or some shit.
An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last.
What?
Good gracious, do you mean to say that the experiment was a bona fide? Is that your belief, sir?
Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up.
Objection!
Stop capping, bro. But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick.
Objection! You've established nothing of the sort. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced. By means of state trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated it its feasibility, nothing more.
But
no buts. Yeah, we've questioned it long enough. I feel, witness, you will now give your formal testimony. But the machine that you constructed for the purpose...
Okay, let's go.
Understood.
Okay. Witness test the kinesis machine. I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago, though through Mr. Asman's introductions. He provided me with the blueprints and I constructed the machine to his precise specifications. It wasn't a trick. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash headfirst into the crystal tower. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow. A body double? I've heard about body doubles before in another game. That goes without saying, surely. To give the impression that something has moved when in reality it hasn't. It's a vision conjuring principle. The deception cannot be achieved without substituting the original with a fake at some point in the performance. But would I be right in saying that you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines? Ugh. Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Asman had no twin siblings. Thanks for being thorough.
It's my understanding that this witness is well-versed in conjuring artfulness. But Sir Stallings do not indicate that he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what by all accounts must have been an extremely complex scientific machine.
Whatever do you mean?
Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Jabba.
Indeed it did, my lord. As a swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring you-know-how. Know-how, okay. Yes, it's true, they possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field. Investigation of the witnesses workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for young talent in science there. Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves. If a hypothesis is sound, it can always be forged into a physical manifestation with sufficient skill. I feel like I'm talking like the Star Trek guy, like that one actor that played that one Captain Kirk, I think, in Star Trek. Maybe, I don't know. But I haven't even watched it, I just know this from epic rap battles of history. The one where he fought against, like, Christopher Columbus. This is the only place I've heard of this, but anyway. Though I must have sold the secrets of some deceptive wiles to sibling, talented scientists in the past.
Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was
an unfortunate accident, or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by misuse of the science?
Counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please.
But he literally admitted to us that he, like, bombed the whole fucking plane, bro. Come on. Literally, there's like 10 witnesses to attest to that. Like, bro. The Kinesis machine. Okay, Medium approximately 1 year ago through Aspen's introductions. Okay, let me read specifically. I want to know everything. So where are they acquainted with Mr. Aspen itself? Not really by chance. I'd seen his name mentioned in the papers, that's all. But I had no interest in his private affairs. If he was an unscrupulous investor, it was no concern of mine. As long as people pay their bills, I take up my tools and construct what they ask for. So why did Mr. Aspen approach you in particular then? Who can say? I presume because my name is associated with excellence in engineering. Not to mention excellence in fraud. Hard to gauge, but the point is, all I did was construct the machine according to the blueprints I was given. In other words, the Kinesis machine was built on solid scientific principles. Yes, you might say that. Professor Harebrained certainly has a mind like no other. I wish we could have like I hope we get to the like burnt, the half burnt blueprints that we found at the scene, because we don't have them right now. Let me check if we do actually. No. Yeah, we don't. He provided me with the blueprints and I constructed the machine up to his precise specifications. It was no trick.
Hold it!
It's good you have both scientific knowledge and knowledge of conjuring magic, however. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes in. But your implication is that I furnished the machine with some trickery, I think. It's a possibility that we have to explore. Unfortunately though, the machine has been blown to Kingdom Come. So there's really nothing left to explore, is there? It appears that the Kinesis machine was fitted with a timed explosive device of some kind. And there's nothing left of that device either. There's a single shred of evidence remaining, I hear. He must have planned all this from the outset. Yes, he literally told you. Are you dumb? In any case, it's abundantly clear that the experiment couldn't have been a trick. The whole show was a fraud. It would have required a body blow. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? I just wanna...
Objection!
Okay, we're not there already, but I feel like Mr. Aspen has the same face as the professor. Like, the same face. I think that's my hypothesis. Listen closely. Dr. Aspen is actually the professor. And the thing of like him seeing him like waking up in the whatever the fuck, like it actually happened. Actually, quote unquote, came back to life. It was all a stage trick made by Professor like Dr. Drebber, and in the end, like he switched identities and became like an underworld like mafia guy, you know, investor and all that shit. I think that's what it is, you know, because otherwise, why would he have this huge mask on his head, you know? Yeah, to hide his identity, which his identity is clearly that of the professor. It's one of the same person. Anyway, the statement would seem to be at odds somehow with the evidence. Okay, no, never mind.
The whole show was a fraud, empty.
Hold it! Of course, that's it. Mr. Hasman has a twin.
He just said earlier that he doesn't.
Perhaps my learned friend wasn't listening earlier. Like Mr. Asman had no twin siblings.
No, I heard you before. But the thread of hope hadn't quite left me yet.
Demonstration could have been a trick if there was somebody who looked sufficiently like the victim. But Dr. Scythe absolutely ruled out that as a possibility.
It is beyond question that the victim himself, Mr. Asman, did move from the stage to the Crystal Tower. The fingerprints found at the scene attest to the fact.
So it can have been orchestrated using someone who looked identical to Mr. Asman then.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, no, nothing. Just the idea of someone who looked identical to the victim is playing on my mind. Yeah. Again, like waxwork. Is the waxworks. Do I have anything to talk about the waxworks? The victim inside the Crystal Tower causes damage to his base. Yeah, a small fragment of unusual that was found in the folds of the clothing of the Professor Waxwork. Yeah, literally, this is what's tying it up to all together, yeah. Appear to be from the Crystal Tower, yeah.
Hold it!
It crashed headfirst, you say?
According to the many witness reports from those there at the time, yes.
Were you not there at the exhibition grounds on the day?
Unlikely. I rarely leave my workshop.
Yet another of your unique inventions was found at the scene. Yeah.
Well, it was the unveiling of a machine at Leopard for many months. As I saw it clearly with my own eyes, the bird cage plummeting headfirst into the tower.
A surprise.
I believe the victim's neck was broken from the headlong fall, wasn't it?
How would you have come by that information?
Even an infernal recluse like me reads the newspapers, you know? According to the reports, 2 injuries were apparent on the victim's body.
Yes, he'd been stabbed in the chest by a screwdriver believed to belong to the defendant, and he had broken vertebrae as a result of a fall from a considerable height.
Correct. My learned friend has been doing his research, it seems.
Do we know which injury was the fatal one?
Sadly not. Forensic science is not yet at a level where such things can be determined. What we do know is that the victim died having sustained both injuries at some point during the experiment, and since he was found in the birdcage with his neck broken, it's obvious that he fell from a considerable height.
I suppose that's hard to deny. Accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow.
Hold it!
You understood the science, did you?
Not in the slightest.
Really? Oh, right.
As I've said a number of times, I'm an engineer. My job is to manufacture according to the blueprints I'm given. It would be inviting manifold problems if I foolishly allowed my brain to digest the ideas behind them. I could be accused of stealing those ideas, for example.
But you literally have a smaller... But how is it possible to construct a machine without really understanding the principles it relies on?
Well, you're practicing law without really understanding the principles it relies on, aren't you?
Bro, don't roast him like that. A very good point. Stand up for yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah.
The point is, the experiment resulted in instantaneous kinesis taking place. As such, the science must be sound. Yes, and really, experimental results are all that matters when it comes to proving a hypothesis.
I feel like he's like there because he literally... He has a metal model on his own workshop.
Very sure of himself. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? While that the mission has been completed through yesterday's explosion, it's going to be impossible to argue something to see one way or another, but if you're unable to explain, yeah. We'll have no grounds on which to demonstrate the Professor here reigns innocence. Both Mr. Asman had this man understand, trick the Professor and use it. Take advantage of his naivety and his unbending belief in his work. And I won't let them get away with it. Seeing as the Professor is an old friend of Antiques. What on earth must he be feeling towards Drebber? Complete and unaltered contempt. Okay. Blueprints and a constructed machine to his precise specifications. Did you though? Did you though? Head first! It's wrong! It's wrong because it fell from the bottom, like the crack is on the bottom of the birdcage. Head first. Yeah. It didn't crash at first. Oh my god, I'm so smart! Yeah. It crashed down.
Objection!
Boom! We've examined the birdcage that crashed into the crystal tower ourselves. As you can see, the cage, which is a wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot. Following the explosion, it fell some 30 feet into the glass of the crystal tower. The level of damage is to be expected, surely. I agree. The damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of the damage. All the breakages in the wood are at the base of the birdcage, not the top.
What are you saying? That's the opposite of where they should be.
That's right, my lord. The birdcage was at the scene is damaged at its base. So we have reports of the birdcage falling headlong into the crystal tower, yet the damage is at the bottom. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there were two birdcages in play that day, which were at some point switched. Switched during what wasn't a scientific experiment at all, but a little piece of stage trickery.
Gah!
Okay.
Good gracious, explain yourself, witness. Well,
If we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we can draw. The damage on the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it crashed day first into the tower.
Objection!
But multiple witnesses report claim it fell head first. The birdcage materialized in the sky next to a balloon flying over the stage, following a spontaneous explosion. At an altitude of some 60 feet above ground level. Yeah. Which is approximately 18 meters. It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet into the crystal tower and the ensuing deflagration. Witness reports amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable.
Objection!
Yeah, come on, then it doesn't suit you. But the victim's neck was broken.
objection!
Yeah. He plummeted 30 feet inside a heavy wooden cage. However, he fell. It would be unsurprising to find one or two of his vertebrae crushed. Not true, because it literally has a binding.
Riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though, to be even more rigorous, you would have to say it was only one vertebrae, actually.
Huh? It wasn't quite for long. I find it hard to see what's motivating Lord Van Zieks. This witness is clearly a swindler and one who deceived a personal friend of his. If you're going to establish this deception, do it right. Sorry? I feel like that's the undertone here. Yeah. Yes. There's one more point. The defense appears to have forgotten.
It obviously wasn't a trick, as a certain truth the very plainly demonstrates.
What?
It seems to me that the cross-examination had better continue till we resolve this matter. Sir Jabba, you will amend your testimony with details of this truth.
Sorry.
Of course, we must treat the matter scientifically, after all.
I nearly had him there. What you doing, bro?
The kinesis clearly took place, because there's nowhere else 30 feet high for the birdcage to have fallen from.
Bro. Bro.
Objection!
Oh no, I thought them. What do you mean? It's clearly like where it fell from. Are you dumb? It was from the balloon. We established this shit. What are you talking about? Well, clearly you can fall from here. Dumbass. You can fall from the... Yeah, no, you can fall from there.
Objection!
Oh shit, you can... It worked! It worked! It worked! This is a diagram of the experiment. Let's go! This is a diagram of the experimentation stage and its surroundings. Yeah, literally. You literally, the edge of the thing is literally the same place. But somehow, the birdcage appeared in midair before falling down to the crystal tower. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters. However, if you examine the diagram carefully, you'll see that there is one other possible location from which the birdcage could have fallen. The same distance of 30 feet. No!
Well, it appears difference is a possible explanation to put forward. Go ahead, Counsel.
Yes, my lord. Of course.
Will indicate the place to...
Yeah, come on, man, it's obvious. He fell from the bottom of here. Yeah, that's where he fell from. Idiot.
Take that! Objection!
What? What? What are you talking about? Why are you not letting me look at the part of... What? What? You can literally fall down from the ledge. Are you dumb? I mean, yeah, sure, a balloon as well, but... Hey, bro, whatever.
Take that!
That's falling from here.
Objection!
I guess not. Okay, then I'm on my last life. Very well. I'm gonna save. I'm on my last fucking life and I don't get what they're doing. Like, why are you not letting me click the place where I wanted to click? You bastards. I'm getting framed. I see. Because there's a gap here. Therefore, when it opens, it crashes down to the bottom of the machine. Obviously. Yes.
Take that!
This I'm referring to is here.
Well, that's where the birdcage would have been to begin with.
Which is exactly the point, my lord. Yes, the birdcage was in the machine of the stage. But what we must also consider is the height of the stage itself.
Go on, Counsel.
Turns out that the experimentation stage was built at a considerable height above ground level. If you look at the diagram, in fact, you will see it's about the same height above the ground as the balloon was above the crash site. Oof. When the experiment got underway, the machine and the birdcage were engulfed in steam. Yep. And he fell down. Exactly. At that moment, the floor on the stage gave way, and if we assume there to be a void underneath, this birdcage and the one seen by the audience would have fallen almost exactly the same distance. Feels like a Bollywood movie though, these reactions. Once again, my lord, this all points to the fact that there was not one birdcage, but two!
Objection!
My learned friend has no evidence that the stage had such a contrivance in its design. Someone is responsible for the criminal destruction of the Kinesis machine itself, it's true. However, the stage still stands. And take a moment to look at the photographic print of the scene following yesterday's explosion. Yeah, we don't even have to like present it.
Good lord, the metal grill that formed the floor of the machine is undone!
Yes, most likely blown out by the force of the explosion that destroyed the rest of the machine. The offense calls for the space below the stage to be investigated immediately. Wait. Let me just... Hold on, I just need to do something real quick. Wait, no, oops. No, yeah, this was it. Yep, there we go. There we go, okay. Hello. Mr. Drebber? It was you who built the Kinesis machine. Which means that it was you who built the 2 bird cages that were used to carry out its deception. Whether Professor Hairbrain's hypothesis is sound or not makes no difference. Because it's the construction of this machine that matters. A machine designed to take Mr. Assman's life. And lay the blame firmly at the Professor's door. Something that could only have been carried out by you, Mr. Anak Drebber! Whoa! Whoa! Yeah, see, he got like...
Objection!
He's like slamming was violent though. Ooh, okay. My learned friend has reached the end of his vile assertions. The prosecution would like to crush the defense's argument slowly, but surely. Your argument fails to hold water. 2 accounts. 2? Firstly, before and after the experiment, this witness went nowhere near the Kinesis machine. Every relevant member of the staff from the exhibition has attested to that.
And I believe members of Scotland Yard have also been on watch to get every public experiment.
In other words... Sorry. In other words, Mr. Drebber had no opportunity to such the alleged pair of bird cages. But I've already explained why he wouldn't have needed 2. The nonsense with the crossbow, that doesn't bolster your case at all. The man who disappeared from the stage and the man who crashed into the tower are one and the same. The forensic investigations team's report is unequivocal on that point. The second flaw in your assertion is a distinct lack of motive. Why would this man have wanted to take the victim's life? He had no reason to do so. A motive? Do I have to think of everything myself? Yes, that's the job. So, I have here a contract provided by the witness.
What contract is this, Lord Van Zeeks?
The contract into which Mr. Drebber entered with the victim, Mr. Assman. It reads, Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or other income.
30%? Certainly very favorable contractual conditions.
But there was one very important provision built into that clause. What provision? Mr. Drebber may only uphold his right on condition that both contracting parties are alive.
In other words, if either of us were to die, the contract would become null and void.
So you see, I had nothing to gain from Mr. Assman's death.
The diametric opposite, in fact.
Ugh. Need I say more? The witness had neither an opportunity nor a reason to commit the alleged crime. In short, the possibility of Mr. Drebber having done as you suggest is nil. Ugh. There we go, as usual. I think, well, I mean, it's kind of obvious this part, but like, I think, like, the real Assman was in the balloon, you know, that got popped and fell down to the Crystal Tower, was the real Assman. But the Assman inside the birdcage, inside the stage, was a waxwork replica, which is same person as Assman because he was the professor. And the motive. That I do not know. We'll probably find this out later. Let's see.
It seems the defense assertion was somewhat wide of the mark. Lord Van Zeeks, you will submit the contract as evidence, please.
Okay. That's true. Trevor had no opportunity to switch the birdcage under the stage with the one in the crystal tower. Yeah. You change your thinking around, man. I thought we had this already in the bag. Okay, let me check the investor, Mr. O. Asman. Wait. The investor, Mr. O. Asman, hereby enters into contract with the provider, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to fund labor and materials for the construct. And materials. Very interesting fact. And materials of a super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or ordinary income. Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive. Odie Aspen E. Drebber. Wait. Oh no, we don't have. Oh, I think I know. You know the. Wait, never mind. Because we had his calling card, right, that we used to track him down. And I think that was his handwriting, and we could compare his handwriting with the signature. But I'm probably gonna have that later, but I don't know when this is gonna be relevant, but I think that's something that's gonna happen. Okay. Couldn't have done it. In any case, I have no idea. Yeah. There is one aspect of your argument that still holds true, however. There were 2 birdcages. The prosecution is not unable to deny that. So I'm sure you're on the right lines, Mr. Naruto, and I've no doubt there are other aspects of your assertion that are undeniable truths too.
It would seem defense has no rejoinder to offer.
Well, I must say I'm a little surprised. I came here to testify about the mission I built, and instead my reputation is defiled. With the prosecution's counter, I set the record straight, I think. It's impossible that I'm the culprit. The average listener, you know what conclusion you have to reach, but have no idea how to reach it. Yeah. It's possible that I'm the culprit.
Objection!
Yes, it is possible. There we go. This is a turnabout moment. At the beginning of this trial, we believed there was only 1 birdcage, yet we know now there must have been 2. In other words, there was more to the demonstration than we realized at first. I think it's abundantly clear that the same applies to the culprit. Get to the point. Yeah, shut the fuck up, bro. The stage demonstration was constructed and set up in its entirety by you, Mr. Drebber. Therefore, it's inconceivable that you had no hand in it. I know! I figured it out! Obviously, Mr. Drebber wasn't trying to kill him, but it happened. Because he was stabbed. Again, remember, he was stabbed by an arrow. No, he was stabbed by Andrew. With the screwdriver. But he was stabbed by the screwdriver on the hot air balloon, or before getting inside the hot air balloon, and then he fell and broke his neck, and but like it was someone else that killed him. A third party, you know? Someone that knew that Dr. Asman is the professor, and wanted revenge. Anyway, for it's inconceivable that you had no hand in the events that transpired. Yep. So if circumstances mean it's impossible that you could have carried out the crime yourself, it points to the fact that someone else was involved.
Someone else? Are you suggesting?
Yes, my lord. Mr. Drebber had an accomplice.
Objection!
And it was Courtney Scythe. I'm asserting that now it's Courtney Scythe. An accomplice now. Well then I presume you're prepared for what's to come. Now that you're accusing not only this witness, but someone else of the most serious of crimes. If these accusations turned out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution would demand an equally serious punishment for your slander.
Well, counsel, We enter to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of involvement in this matter.
What do I do here? At the moment, this is little more than a hunch on my part. I don't know for sure if Jabber had an accomplice or not, even if he really is the culprit there. One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear as a lawyer. So what's my stance going to be? Did Jabber have an accomplice or not? He has an accomplice. He has an accomplice, and it's Courtney Scythe. Because of the suspicious 500 cigarettes, scalpels. That's shit she has. The defense is ready to name Mr. Jabber's accomplice. Somehow the two bird cages must have been switched. Everything points to that. Yet according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. Yeah, the coroner. The coroner. Exactly. But that inconsistency itself is a clue.
Sir?
My lord?
You have received a Stark warning already. If you are nevertheless determined, then I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. So your answer, please. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Jabber's accomplice?
Well, it was me! Okay, never mind. I wish it was me as an option, but... It was Courtney Scythe. I'm sorry, Bloke Strongheart. You're gonna be mad at me that we like fuck over your like right-hand woman, but you know, it is what it is.
Take that!
The name of the person in question is... What's wrong with Naquini's friend? Surely fear doesn't bind your tongue now. It's a little late for that. Of course, I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely going to make waves. A lot of waves. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it was the correct one. Okay, I thought that was gonna be... I was wrong for how it went. Okay. I could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me. I'm sure it'll be alright, Mr. Naruto. Thank you, Mr. Sato. The enemy always appears larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy. Alright then, here goes. You kept us waiting for long enough. Your answer, Counsel. Now. The person who colluded with Mr. Jabber in order to carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Scythe!
What the blazes are you talking about, Dr. Scythe?
The head of the forensics investigation team and the coroner of conducted the autopsy of the victim? Yes. We know there were two bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators and the area was immediately sealed off. Then everyone, police officers included, were banished to make way for the forensic investigation team. True! When else could a switch have occurred? It could only have been in that team's presence. Yeah. It's essential. Look at this face, the fucking face he made. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. Defense demands that Dr. Scythe be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify. Seriously. Just awful. Nobody cares.
You've got no lad standing up there, dragging your name through the mud.
I didn't mean to.
I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker there. How dare you? You call her a criminal?
My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. With the recklessness of your accusation aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. One which the prosecution demands you address at once. A grave problem? Well, a grave problem indeed. She's a coroner. Oh my word! Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger? I know. What? Yeah. The Waxwerk, the Waxwerk. Come on, man. Certainly the Burkish, yeah, whatever.
The cage was not caught in the body.
And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Which means there was no one, dead or alive, who could have fulfilled the role of a body double for Mr. Asman. Ugh, that's true. My argument is that there were two bird cages, then there must have also been one person inside each. Yeah, but this is the waxwork. What can I do to reveal? Yeah. Present evidence. Come on, man, we know. Very well. The defense... Okay. Let me save, though.
I only have one knife left. Let me save though, before I get into big trouble. Okay. Yeah. By presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Asman's body double.
Good gracious, evidence! I do hope this isn't filibustering counsel. The court is expecting our name.
If you think you have relevant evidence, present it now. The body double on the birdcage were hiding inside the body. Yeah. Which means that, yeah. So who was it that appeared? Yeah. Aha! The body double inside the second birdcage was... Let me save. Again, I'm gonna save. Waxwork, the waxwork.
Take that!
We know that the victim, Mr. Asman, was in the birdcage that was... Oh my god, is it the correct answer? Was situated inside the kinesis machine on stage, and therefore he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contained something else. What's been described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the crystal top. I was right all along! Big predictions, massive... Bro, bajillion... Bro. At this point, I should have a guy who clips every time I predict the future at this point. Like, I did it on Omori, I did it on this game, I did it everywhere, bro. I keep predicting the future. What the fuck? I have observation hacky or something. Like... Oh, hey. Okay.
Yes, Counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate versions of events.
And that body double inside the second birdcage was, in fact... It's alright, Mr. Naruto. You're ready for this. Thank you, my goat. Just still yourself and come out with it. She's the massive pillar in like in our life, bro. Thank you, Mr. Sato. I needed that. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was as unbelievable as it seems. That thing there. Why was it just here? What? Did he just like summon it into existence with his like sheer force of will?
Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nipponese friend. Now tell me, what are you playing at?
Stand firm now, Ryunosuke. This is the time to show your Japanese spirit. As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model. A model, in fact, of an infamous London murder from 10 years ago. The Professor.
You started by indicting the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice for this crime.
And now you've moved on to indicting waxworks. Yes, I want the size of it.
But why? And why this waxwork? It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it could hardly resemble him less. What possible justification can you give?
If you want to know why, ask Mr. Drebber. He's shitting his screws over here.
What?
Just days before Professor Harebrained performed his public demonstration, Mr. Drebber abducted this model from Madame Tuspel's.
Did you say abducted?
And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum.
Then the timing. Is this true, Mr. Drebber?
No? Okay. He didn't say no. At first I couldn't see why Mr. Drebber would have stolen the waxwork and then given it back again. We've known this the moment that wasn't clear. But now the reason is clear. He took it so that he could put it inside the second birdcage as a body double for Mr. Asman. Okay.
Objection!
Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? Ding! That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner on a public stage in front of a vast audience.
I mean...
And that to effect this deception he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide?
Objection!
I'm not done! Wait! Yes, if you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible. My lord,
Need to speak, if you please. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman.
Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement. Okay.
We are done with the finished explanation, but we're still gonna give a guilty verdict. We're so smart, guys. Look at us.
And we're gonna fuck your asses in the jury reassession assumption, whatever the fuck it's called. I forgot. It's been so long since we've done that actually.
Very good in that case. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings for the court to hear now.
Guilty. Guilty.
But that's not her voice.
Guilty.
And guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty!
Why is a child in the jury?
Oh, there.
Guilty. What the fuck? Why is my LinkedIn appeared on 17 insertions? Anyway,
So indicated by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus.
I knew that was going to happen. We shall get through this, Mr. Naruhodo, as we always do. Uncover some new truth along the way, I'm quite sure. Yes, I agree. Going to have an appeal to the jurors as usual and see if I can persuade them to change their minds.
Friends will now embark on a submission examination. Are you ready? Are you and your fellows ready to proceed, Mr. Foreman?
We are, my lord.
Very well. In that case, I ask you now to state clearly for all present to hear the grounds on which each of you has decided that the defendant is guilty of the crime of which he is engaged.
Okay. Judicial findings. Jurors contention.
I've known that woman for years. She's never been an accomplice in that to anything.
It's utter nonsense. The thing does. It's utter nonsense. The thing does two would ever be conniving with one another. Oh dear, this is most troubling. But surely waxwork the man stole is nothing to do with the coroner, is it? I've had my own problems with members of the police. I do not trust them much. Thank you. Base.
I've never seen no rigorous proof that this waxwork has evidence at the birdcage. It's conjecture.
Accusing someone without the right evidences. It's not the proper job, is it? I want to have it.
Okay.
Somewhat unsurprisingly, it seems the introduction of this waxwork model to the proceedings has a polarized opinion.
Just unlock the brain, the head's piece, bro. Come on. Given that its face is obscured by and it's built in no way resemble that of the victim. I can only applaud my learned friend's temerity at suggesting it as Mr. Assman's body double. Yes, the applause is deafening, and yes, I know it seems extraordinary, but that's the point. This way I have a strong feeling it's actually a greater clue that anyone yet realizes.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
Can explain why at the moment. But I feel as though there's a specific reason why it was used, why it had to be this moment.
Really? A reason why? Nothing else would do, you mean?
Yeah, because I just say one and the same person. We've said this before, okay. Yeah, and yes, and I'm convinced it's something far more significant than whether or not the model looked like the victim. Well,
If that's the case,
yeah, because it is the victim.
we must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs.
Yes, I agree. Have to find a way out of this.
If you are ready, counsel, you may proceed with the summation examination.
Yes, my lord. Okay, let's do this. Defense rebuttal. Okay, no one for you. Shouldn't have been accomplice to anything. Okay, let me save here though. Okay, okay, okay. Let us press this man. The order of things seems to have changed around here for some reason.
I'm a copper, lad. Yeah, if a copper's discretion to bend the rules, sometimes we need much. What's wrong with that?
Where do I start?
I've been working in the yard for 40 odd years.
That's even more than I thought.
We won the Edinburgh Metropolitan Police Service in town for 70 years, you know. Of course, times have changed. The public didn't trust coppers back then when I started. It was rough. We had to fight crime and we had to fight to win the public's trust as well. And when we did, forensic sciences was in its infancy too, even more than it is now. And she spearheaded the revolution.
Dr. Sykes, you mean?
That's right, about 10 years ago now, it was. When I was still a youngish bobby on the beach. That's when she started making a name for herself as a top-class coroner. Now look at her, head of the forensic investigation team, and a woman no less. Well, we won't hear me complain. It's what all dreamed. It's what we all dreamed of back then, I tell you.
Could you tell me without holding that gun in the air?
We're allowed out to help hold justice, lad. Full of him, we were. Full of him.
That's coming across loud and clear. What does that tell us, though? Okay, nothing. It's utter nonsense. I think those two would ever be conniving with one another. Okay, let's pursue. But we're only just starting to understand this case. He should stop listening. What are you reading there, sir? The man behind those murders, huh? What's all up on street was caught in 2 days flat. That's real policy. That's really not relevant to this case, is it? You're wrong there. Because it was Dr. Seiss in charge of examining the bodies. There was evidence arising from her work that led to the arrest of the scoundrel responsible. Oh?
That's right. Oh, that woman is at the forefront of this country's fight against crime. And the idea that she's somehow involved in this murky business is a load of tosh.
Well, bro, let me just say that she was doing it for a right reason. The man was the fucking devil incarnate. Like, you know, like Mr. Assman was legitimately like a massive killer. Like, wanting him dead is not an evil thing to do, you know? Anyway, I thought it was up to me to press the jurors, not the other way around, yeah. But Peter, this is most troubling, but surely the waxwork the man stole is nothing to do with the coroner, is it?
Hold it!
Why would you assume that?
Well, quite simply because that unsettling swindler has no relationship with the woman, does he?
True, as it stands, we don't know of any connection.
Oh gosh, but it would be delightfully romantic if they were somehow to have a mutual interest in the waxworks.
In the waxwork? Romantic?
A woman of society such as myself views everything in terms of relationships, you know.
Well, you learn something new every day, even if you don't want to.
One might wonder about a possible relationship between the defendant and this coroner woman. Or perhaps between the defendant and the handsome prosecutor just there.
This woman may be more astute than I've been giving her credits for. There's a woman's stance. And perhaps... my jaw is like... hurting. Okay.
Then perhaps demonstrating some connection between the waxwork and Dr. Seiss would be enough.
Yes, I agree. As soon as we even have a whiff of a connection, she'll be the first to know. Oh, this guy, I love this guy. This is my favorite jury for now.
Hold it!
What sort of problems? Let's just say we have run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the streets. Right, I see.
Obviously, actors such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences, so we perform our greatest magics in parks, on street corners, and the like. But the police use any excuse to make... our lives difficult. Sometimes they even cook up a story to extort monies from the poor.
Good.
Excuse me!
Do you have something to say in response to that, Mr. Uttermole?
Are you calling him mass murder?
Oh, right, it's not his real name. Sorry, my mistake. I got confused because I heard you look like him.
I don't look anything like the man. I want to be locked up, sonny.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. As we can move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. And clearly you do.
Back in my day, back in the good old days, wasn't like this.
What was it like, sir?
We worked our fingers to the bone.
I think I was gonna say sorry, our fingers to the bum, but... never mind. Sorry, I'm just fucking stupid. Oh my god, laughing at my own joke. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, never mind. We worked our fingers to the bone. Okay, breathe. Okay. Worked our fingers to the bone to earn...
We worked our fingers to the bone to earn public trust, we did. And by Jove, we earned it. People respected us back then.
Respected you?
No one could have called a coroner into question in them days. A coroner's report was a hallmark of an investigation done right. Especially when Dr. Courtney Stevens put her name on it. She was the best of the best, and the apple of the forces,
Yeah. Well, hold on. Yeah, you said a name that seems very familiar. What are you talking about? Dr. Courtney Stevens. Did she change her name?
Oh, sorry, got a bit carried away there.
Stevens is Dr. Sight's maiden name.
Oh, okay, okay, there we go. As I told you, right? Literally, okay. Okay, never mind. I mean, I didn't. Whatever.
Her maiden name. So that was before she was married.
Of course, yes, silly me. It's Sight now, isn't it?
Steven. Should have seen that name somewhere recently.
Anyway, the point is, there's really great days of polishing, not like now.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. But do you think you could change your statements to include that name?
Well, yes, I don't see why not.
Exactly. Pit. I'm gonna pit you against this one. Boom! There we go. These two statements clearly contradict one another.
Good gracious, those two whole statements to refer counsel.
So, juror number 2.
Oh gosh, me? What can I do for you?
Presume that you heard that what juror number 6 said in his statement. Is brought to light the maiden name of the coroner, Dr. Sight, which in turn has revealed a connection that wasn't apparent before.
Well, naturally, as a woman of society, I find such connections and relationship irresistible. But, oh golly, I'm afraid I fail to see what you mean.
Dr. Sight's maiden name is Stevens, and through that name, the coroner is very definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove it.
My goodness, evidence you say? How utterly enthralling!
Counsel, the court cannot overlook the last remark. I very much hope there is substance to your claim.
Yep, of course, my lord. I'd like the court to look at this. I'm gonna go no save with only one heart. Let me just check it again. Okay, Courtney Stevens. Okay. Present.
Take that!
Yes. Okay. I have here a certain autopsy report from 10 years ago.
A 10 years old autopsy report, what difference does that have?
It is, of course, from the autopsy report of the person portrayed in a wax, the killer known as the Professor.
Professors? But the man was a capital offender, so...
That's right. This is a certification of death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives few details. But what's important is the name of the coroner who wrote it. Courtney Stevens.
Oh my! Courtney Stevens?
Struck a light!
It appears that the professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Scythes 10 years ago. And a few days ago, Mr. Drebber very deliberately stole the waxwork of the professor from Madame Tuspel's. A waxwork that doesn't, in fact, resemble the victim, Mr. Asman, at all.
And do you suppose there's some unsavory relationship between those events?
Absolutely, I'm sure of it. There is no doubt in my mind that the professor case is at the heart of a link that we have yet to uncover. Between Dr. Courtney Scythe and Mr. Anakjaba.
It makes mysterious connections, secret relationships that is almost extraordinary. We're surely obliged now to explore this further.
There we go. Okay, I'm telling you, Mr. Asman and the professor is the same person. Like I've been saying this over and over. We're gonna see, and we're gonna unlock the face locket. It's gonna pop off, and it's gonna be Asman in the wax, not in the flesh, but in the wax. You know?
Quite right, we can't let this trial come to an end now. What does this cloud of suspicion hanging over the yard's best corona? It wasn't like this in my day. It was still here to uphold justice in the end.
Oh, okay. All right. So, what else? Okay. Oh. Okay. So, problems with a member of the police. I've seen no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the birdcage. Just conjecture. Well, let me press you on that. Would you claim the whole instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a trick?
That I did. There is more than one way to pull a rabbit out of the hat, isn't there?
Sorry?
grant you, given that this cage appeared from a mist-and explosion, there have been no need to use a real person. But if a waxwork had been used, the culprit could at least have had the decency to make it look like the victim.
Not sure exactly how much criminals are governed by decency.
Point is, if you're going to make a claim about the waxwork being inside the birdcage, you need to give us some evidence. Without that, it's just not science.
Suppose we should expect nothing less than a logical argument from a fellow of the Royal Society. That perhaps means his mind could be changed if we manage to present suitable evidence. This is the professor.
But actually, never mind. You know the thing I said. Okay, no, the real one was actually stabbed at the present, like at the machine. He was stabbed, like when he was lower down, then stabbed, like after his neck was broken or some shit like that, right? He was happened there, but the waxwork was the thing that was dropped by from the balloon, of course, and then it was switched by Madame Sykes. Yeah, now it makes a lot of sense, and that's why Andrew was still at the machine. Exactly. Okay, so let me say before I make a grave mistake, even though I know what to say. I'm not gambling. Okay, I'm gonna gamble next time. Okay. I'm an avid gambler. I need to follow with my... Okay, I have evidence. Actually, I have something I'd like you to see first, sir.
Oh, I must warn you that I firmly believe it's only wise to trust men in white coats. So given your jet black outfit, I don't mind admitting to a sense of trepidation, yeah?
So you don't trust anyone in black? Looking in the mirror must be very tiring. Trying, yeah. I do have some... Yeah. It is...
Yes!
Yes!
What's that? A piece of glass? Though it's unusually thick for glass.
It's a piece of broken glass that we found inside the jacket on the waxwork. As you say, it's not ordinary glass though. It's very thick and clearly made for extra strength. Much like this special glass that was developed for the construction of the Crystal Tower. Exactly!
The Crystal Tower, holy smoke!
Exactly, the centerpiece of the Great Exhibition, where the very incident we're talking about took place. The day in question, the birdcage fell from above and smashed through a window of the special glass.
From whence this small piece originated? Is that it?
Precisely. So, what do you say? Now that clever evidence in support of the assertion has been placed before you.
Well, said I only trust men in white coats as a rule, however. When the reasoning is sound, it's fair to say color shouldn't come into it.
We did it, we solved racism, let's go, okay.
In other words you've shown me here, yes, I feel obliged to change my position on the matter. In that case, juror number 4, you will amend your statement now, please. The presence of that piece of glass leaves me in a total doubt that the waxwork was indeed inside that birdcage.
Okay. Let me press you.
Hold it!
Got to ask, why have you brought that core into court with you? Yeah.
When he did come, he's been growing back in the farm. Picked him off on the way to town. He's a proper nibbler, he is.
Yes, the nibble seems to be taking quite a while. Maybe it could wait until after the trial.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. You need colonels at times like these. Whenever I have some at the big for the side, the colonels always point me in the right direction, see?
You're talking about your cup of corn?
Guilty. Not guilty. Out. Guilty.
Okay, bro, what the fuck? Out. Okay. Bro, what are you... But did she just spawn another one? And then... Perhaps it's akin to fortune telling with flower petals like people do back home. So Professor Herbrain's fate is to be decided by a cob of a corn. Could you not at least wait until we've had more time to find the truth before deciding on the defendant's guilt?
Oh, I don't know about that. It comes awfully full already.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah, sure. I don't need tips. I don't need tips and tricks. I just think 2 or more those 2 would ever be conniving with one another.
Let me save. And... And... Okay. Maybe pit him against her? Because it showed him evidence though.
Objection!
Oh shit! Really? Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Good gracious! Those statements do you have, counsel?
You could put down your corn for a moment, juror number 5?
You mean me?
You've pointed out that it's wrong to make an accusation without evidence. But accusation that the waxwork model was inside the second occasion the day in question is not without supporting evidence, as the defense demonstrated to the juror sitting beside you.
Oh, is that right?
Would it be fair to say you didn't follow the argument?
I don't understand much besides Colonel Cobb, to be honest.
Of course you don't.
Have I got to interject here?
Please do, sir.
Now that this assertion of yours about the waxwork has been backed up by some solid evidence, would be wrong of me as a matter of science not to pursue the matter further.
Thank you.
Well, me too then.
Sorry?
If this brainy gentleman says he is right, then he must be. See, I wouldn't dream of going against Colonel Cobb or anyone who's got stuff in between the ears.
Okay. It's the smacks with the cup too. Okay, there we go. We're back in the game. Success! If you can call it that. Alright.
Thank you, counsel. That will do. As a result of the submission examination, the jury's overall...
No, I mean,
As a result of the submissions examination, the jury overall leaning has changed. 2 jurors now called guilty against 4 who called not guilty. Accordingly, the court has failed to reach a consensus at this time, and the trial must continue.
We did it! Yippee! Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. Another wonderful victory. Yes.
hey, that was good. I don't know. That sounded good for like a... Okay, anyway.
Waxwork of the despicable professor. This is a body double for the victim in this quite extraordinary case. I must say it's extremely hard to believe this assertion could possibly be true. However, would appear that it does not. It does at least warrant further investigation.
It's the waxwork of the professor that links Mr. Jabber and Dr. Scythe. And I'm convinced that there's a special significance to that link.
I don't know what you're hoping to prove, lad. I really don't.
Truth, sir. By using evidence and testimony.
If the court is to delve deeper into the alleged involvement of the waxwork in this case, then the prosecution calls for the owner of the model to be summoned as a witness.
The owner?
Oh, good. She probably has the key. Madame Tuspels. Or maybe not. I don't know. But she could probably wax up a key. She could mold one. I really thought that Lord Vensis would object to this whole line of inquiry. Because he wants the truth. Put it through your thick skull, Naruhodo. He's not your enemy. Okay.
Very well, I concur. Make arrangements for Madame Tuspels to appear as a witness with immediate effect.
Listen carefully, my learned friend. Oh, yes? You should know that you're on the brink of opening Pandora's box. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Hey!
The court shall now adjourn for 45 minutes. During that time, the prosecution will summon the new witness and prepare her for taking the stand.
Madame Tuspels, yes. I shall see to it at once, my lord. Alright, to be continued. Perfect! Well, that's gonna be it for today. This was great, this was great, this was amazing, this was awesome, this was very fun. Okay, yeah. So, we're gonna stop this episode here, at this very nice location. And I hope I remember the voices I've made, because I think I've nailed some of these voices, especially the type of guy, but you know. Whatever. Yeah, so yeah, see you tomorrow for the next episode, for the interrogation of Madame Tuspels. I'm eager to do the French accent, because she's French and I'm French, so it's easy for me to do the French accent, you know. But yeah, save complete, and bye-bye. Smash like, subscribe.